Hi, and welcome to Living in El Paso, Texas. My name is John Pena, and I'm a real estate agent with eXp Realty here. And if you are looking for a property in or around El Paso, by all means, please reach out to me. I've heard from a lot of you who are relocating from different areas, Vegas, Alabama, California, all over the place. So it warms my heart to hear from you guys. I love talking to you. Hit me up in the comments, visit our website, call me, email me, what have you. Today, I promised you that we are going to talk about and show some of the sites on the west side. The last video that I did was all about the east side. We looked at the airport, Fort Bliss, some of the schools, some of the new buildings, the parks, and just for a refresher, essentially an easy way to think about it is the Franklin Mountains kind of split El Paso in half. We've got the east side and the west side. Last time we did the east side, this time we're going to do the west side. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The University of Texas El Paso, otherwise known as UTEP, is a public research university and a member of the University of Texas system. It's known for its School of Engineering program. It's also home to the Sun Bowl Stadium and the mascot, some Miners. It has roughly 25,000 enrolled students. The Don Haskins Center is home to the UTEP basketball teams and also hosts big-name music acts, World Championship Wrestling, preseason NBA games. One of the first times we visited here, we went, it's kind of just outside of downtown, still on the west side, but we were kind of driving around in the evening and there were just tons of people out, and it turns out there was like a Cardi B concert going on, but just like tons of great energy. The university is also one of several undergrad schools in El Paso, including Southwest University and Pima Medical Institute. El Paso also has a very extensive community college system with multiple campuses, over 130 programs of study, and over 300 continuing education courses. Okay, so in addition to a lot of really great restaurants, we do have some pretty awesome grocery stores. On the west side, we do have a Whole Foods, which we love, and some of the other grocery stores in the area. We've got Albertsons, we've got Food King, we've got Sprouts, so there are plenty of places where you can go and grab your groceries. I wanted to include this because one of the things that I said, one of the activities that a lot of people enjoy in El Paso is biking, and so this is a newer Trek store and it's pretty cool. There's a brewery right next door, so you can go and spend some money on a really nice bike and then go celebrate with a beer. One of the things that's great about both the east and the west side is that there are a lot of places, since the mountain is so close to where we live, there are a lot of places where you can access a trailhead that takes you into a pretty serious trail experience, like right from your back door almost. So this is one that's close to me called Thunderbird Trail. I haven't done this one yet, but I did do one on the northeast side that goes up into these old abandoned tin mines, and that was pretty awesome. These are not little, like, an hour hike. Some of these, if you're willing, can last, half a day to a full day's there and back kind of experience. So pretty great. Here on the west side, we have the Top Golf. This place looks pretty brand spanking new to me. It was here when we moved here in August last year, but like I said, it does look pretty new. I caught it on a cloudy day, so while we are the Sun City, believe it or not, we do get some clouds every once in a while. So if the weather isn't participating, which probably won't happen often if you're into golf, but if you just want to work on your swing, this is a great place to do it. If you've got kids, we also have an indoor skydiving place, and this whole area is actually blowing up as well. It's right off of I-10. Here we have Coronado Country Club. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods and areas. It's on the west side, and this is one of the golf courses that we have. There are actually several in El Paso. I was recently talking to somebody who was interested in relocating here, and they were asking, what's the terrain like? Is it just a big dirt hole in the sun? Just a bunch of sand and rock? Absolutely not. As you can see, we have our fair share of grass and trees, but you can combine that with the awesome views of the mountains, so it's the best of both worlds. This is another retail and restaurant area. We really like this area because a lot of the buildings are built out of shipping containers, which is a building trend that my wife and I like. And this is right off of Mesa Street, which we're going to talk about next. Mesa Street runs from downtown all the way through the west side essentially. It has tons of the restaurants, the retail, the bars. It's got a really hip little area near the university. It's got an unbelievable neighborhood called Kern, which will feature, I'm sure, in the future. But it's a really great place, pretty well known here in El Paso. In the video for the east side, I mentioned how El Paso oversees more than 250 parks, has 3,000 acres of open space within the city limits, tons of rec centers. This is one of them that includes an aquatic center, and this is also one of the senior centers. And just to remind you, we've also got 4 future rec centers that are currently in the works. Okay, and what would any city be without its token outlet mall? We've got an Outlet Shops of El Paso on the west side here. It's got all the things that you would expect, from Adidas to American Outfitters, Calvin Klein, Nike, Disney, Gap, all of the normal outlet center kind of places. It's very well kept. It's nice because it's shaded, but it's mostly you walk outside. So since we don't get a ton of rain here, it's a pretty pleasant experience typically. They also have a lot of events. Every time I drive by there, it seems like they're having some other thing. Typically a lot of family events, playground things, bouncy tent things, carnival rides, all sorts of stuff. I wanted to include a little bit of the horse farms that we actually have here. This is on the west side, but this is on the other side of I-10 in an area called the Upper Valley, going into Coronado, where it kind of gets into that New Mexico border area. But just so that you know that we do have grass and trees and even things like farms. There's a lot of crops that are growing down here. And if you're into horseback riding or having horses, we certainly have those options available. Over on the west side, we have a newer development called the Canyons at Cimarron, and it's pretty nice. All the things you would expect: newer restaurants, coffee shops, a brunch place, hair and beauty selections. I believe even actually a humane society, adoption areas over here, a brewery, health services, all sorts of things that you would expect in new retail. This is a really great area. There's a lot of really modern new home construction just around the corner here as well. Okay, so there you have it, a little bit of the west side, and by all means, this has not been an exhaustive tour of the area. There's way too much for me to show you, whether it's on the east side or the west side, and to tell you the truth, we even have some little kind of hidden gem pockets. Downtown is super awesome. There's a really cool area called Upper Valley. There's a lot of really cool things going on in El Paso. So, thanks so much for watching. If you would be so kind and you made it this far, I'd appreciate the subscribe, the thumbs up, the notifications, all of that. It helps us out a great deal, and we'll talk to you next time.